Let's take a little time to orient ourselves with this 1960s satellite overview of the Backlot. So this is the building that we use as our key reference point. It's been there for 75 plus years. It has a very unique roof, and that's what we're using as the key reference point. Um, Looking at the Backlot itself, um, up here is where the Kwanzaa huts were for the Gomer Pyle show, and Wally's was right here behind these trees when those buildings were there. Um, Zoom in here and see you have the courthouse facade, Floyd's and the store, the tall hotel, and the theater that kind of juts out there. And then, of course, you had the pharmacy across the street, and you have the other hotel. I think there was an episode where Barney did a U-turn here and led a pretty lady to the post office or hotel, which was right across the street. So that and the citizen's arrest would have been in that general area. And you have the church right here. You have the wall in front of the church where Briscoe Darling filled up his truck with water from the horse trough, and the oak tree in the episode where Hollywood came to town was somewhere in that general area as well. And Andy's house, you can see it's the fourth house on the left. It's right here. You have the tree out by the road, and then beside of that you have the haunted house that was decorated up uh, to look a little different for the haunted house episode. So there you have it, the actual layout of Mayberry. Hello folks, today we're going to take a look at the 40 acres backlot again, and where the town of Mayberry would have sat in 2026 satellite images. So again, here is the 40 acres backlot in 1965. You can see the theater, the hotel, the courthouse, Andy's house, and the church. Pharmacy's there in the middle of the street. And this is just an image looking kind of from beside of the pharmacy up towards the courthouse from the Loaded Goat episode. And a side view of the courthouse, looking up Main Street. And an overview. Here's a satellite image from 2026 and the satellite image from the 1960s. We use this building that's been there for about 75 plus years as a reference point, and we'll start airbrushing around the edges of the site to see how everything lines up. And everything lines up very well. You can see the highway, the aqueduct there on the top of the property, just outside of the property, that lines up very well. And this area here, there above the trees, is where Wally's service station would have been located, up between those buildings. We'll airbrush here between the buildings to begin with, so you can kind of see where the backlot layout was relative to those buildings. See the hotel, store, courthouse, Floyd's, and the pharmacy there in the middle of the street. The hotel across the street from the courthouse. And there we have it. Now let's see what was located where the buildings are. Kwanzaa huts from Gomer Pyle Show. The street where Andy lived. There's Andy's house and the other houses on the street there. And the rest of the site. So we're going to look at it again on a more zoomed in view so you can see better details of the actual main buildings there in Mayberry with the courthouse and the pharmacy. So using that same building as a reference and as a check, you can see the overlay looks very good there. We're going to go up. This is the area where Andy's house was located. And there's Andy's house there. He has a tree out by the street. That's the best way to identify it. I think it's the fourth house on the left. Courthouse, store, Floyd's, and the theater there. Triangle sticking out. Pharmacy there in the middle of the street. And it's the wall in front of the church, and then the church to the left of it. And the street that Andy lived on. The haunted house is there to the left, just beside of Andy's house. And this is the hotel across the street from the courthouse, the other hotel. And there you kind of have the total layout of the main parts of Mayberry. We're going to go back and take out some of the extra stuff here and just see just leave the main key references. So we're going to leave the church, the wall in front of the church, you can see would be in that parking lot, and then take everything out around Andy's house. Take everything out around the pharmacy, the hotel across the street, and the theater, the hotel, the store and Floyd's, and the courthouse there. And you can see the facade there in front of the courthouse, the entranceway, kind of sticking out. And that's it. And now we'll go back and airbrush in the 2026 satellite image, and Mayberry is disappearing. Yep, and there you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like, a share, and subscribe to my channel.